Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have long tried to reinvent themselves as Hollywood power players after stepping back from royal duties. This week, that ambition collided with a hard reality check that left royal watchers stunned. Their latest project, the documentary Coca Queens, which the executive produced through Arkwell Productions, landed with a thud. The film, directed by Elisan Ahmias and following the four Scots competing to sell the most cookies, opened on 446 screens across the United States. It pulled in just 735 per theater and has so far grossed only $20 million. Spotify partnership ended in 2023 after Meghan's Archetypes podcast managed only one season with courses pointing to insufficient content output. Their roughly $100 million Netflix deal has also been scaled back to a less lucrative first look arrangement. Netflix quietly withdrew support for Meghan's lifestyle brand as ever earlier this year. The pattern was clear by big announcements, limited results. Inter-Royal commentator Kinsey Schofield, host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered, speaking to Page 6, she delivered the kind of blunt counsel rarely directed at the successes in public. I would tell them to disappear professionally for a little while, she said. Schofield urged them to slash the stream of announcements, step back from constant publicity, and focus on one genuinely strong project backed by experienced professionals. They need to stop treating their celebrity as the product and start creating products strong enough to survive without their celebrity, she argued. Success itself, she noted, remained the best reputation management in Hollywood. Another glossary brand would not fix the problem, less talking. More execution, get out of the way and let the pros work. Schofield went further, identifying the couple's ongoing friction with the British royal family as a professional liability rather than a marketing asset. There are only so many times you can tell audiences why you left the royal family. She observed longevity in entertainment, she said, requires proving that audiences care about their ideas and storytelling when the monarchy is no longer the hook. Their recent reconciliation gestures toward King Charles, she suggested, may be less about family healing and more about removing a chemical obstacle. Many expected the success to retreat or issue a carefully worded statement. Instead, something unexpected unfolded. In early August, Harry and Meghan appeared together at the David Foster Foundation's 40th anniversary gala in Canada. Meghan wore diamond and sapphire earrings that nodded to Princess Diana. Harry arrived in a classic black tuxedo. They walked the red carpet, smiled for cameras, and gave no public indication that the criticism or box office disappointment had shaken them. The contrast was striking. One of the more prominent royal voices in the media had just advised them to vanish from the professional spotlight. Days later, they were still very much in it, polished, present, and apparently undeterred. Whether this signals defense, denial, or a calculated refusal to cede, the narrative remains unclear. Meghan wore diamond and sapphire earrings that nodded to Princess Diana. Harry arrived in a classic black tuxedo. They walked the red carpet, smiled for cameras, and gave no public indication that the criticism or box office disappointment had shaken them. The contrast was striking. One of the more prominent royal voices in the media had just advised them to vanish from the professional spotlight. Days later, they were still very much in it, polished, present, and apparently undeterred. Whether this signals defense, denial, or a calculated refusal to cede, the narrative remains unclear. What is clear is that the advice to disappear has been met not with silence but with a public appearance that undercuts the very recommendation for a couple whose every move is scrutinized. The sequence lands as both predictable and surprising. The chemical setbacks are real, the expert diagnosis is pointed, and yet Harry and Meghan continue to show up, earrings gleaming and tuxedo crisp, as if the conversation about professional retreat never happened.